Hey shooters, we're out here at Benton County at the Rattlesnake Shooting Facility. Really good club, good a bunch of people. I think they've got like 60 shooters today. It's an amazing 6 full squads, 12 guns apiece, 72 guns today. And I'm a little bit late, so I'm going to be a little bit rushed. Another HK, I'm kind of on an HK kick. The last one was a P30L. This is a standard P30. And this P30, take a look inside here, is their LEM trigger version. This is a standard length gun, so it's not really the competition version. It is night-sighted. But look at the hammer. Bop, 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 bop. Trigger moves. Well, that's the LEM. That's the law enforcement modification. People call it the law enforcement module, but HK calls it the law enforcement modification. And what it does, it kind of like precocks the energy source for the hammer. So the hammer is very easy to get back that far, very little pressure, and then a break. But yet it maintains its DA capabilities if you happen to have a light strike or something. Pretty interesting little gun. Feels really good. I've added that big backstrap to it. That's the only modification I've done, and I oiled it this morning. Again, kind of in a rush. Shot some 3-gun yesterday, and now I'm out here shooting a out of the box into the match gun review of the HK P30 with the LEM. And we're going to put it in another cool holster from Red Hill Tactical. Again, I'll give you much more information on the trigger pull weight and everything else in the summation at the end. I'm a little pressed for time right now. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I really appreciate your time. Bye for now. Ready, girly? HK 30 with the LEM trigger. Notice the hammer fell down, so it's got that crazy LEM law enforcement modification. Let's see how that works for an out-of-the-box gun.
Shooter ready?
Sure.
Stand by. .86.
That's an interesting trigger. That's not the reason why I missed. It's just an interesting trigger.
Shooter ready. Stand by. .68. Shooter ready. Stand by. .71.
And if I shot maybe a couple less shots, it'd be faster.
Shooter ready. Stand by.
Oh, it's on the top.
4.93.
4.93, last string.
Oh, last string. I can't feel the trigger. There's no wall. You just pull straight through like a really light double action revolver.
Shooter ready. Stand by. .96. Make clear. Okay. Thank you. Shooter load and make ready.
All right, HK with LEM P30. We're going to try and actually follow through all the way through this time.
Shooter ready?
Sure.
Stand by. .95.
3.95.
Shooter ready? Stand by. .46.
3.46.
Shooter ready. Stand by.
Oh, come on.
2.97.
2.97.
Bad draw, but I focus on the fundamentals and it worked. Let's see if I can do that again. Not the bad draw part, the fundamentals.
Shooter ready. Stand by. 2.82.
2.82. All right, last string.
Shooter ready. Stand by. 2.68.
2.68. Very nice.
Okay.
HK P30 with LEM. Rock and roll.
Shooter ready. Stand by. 2.27. Shooter ready. Stand by. 1.91.
2.91.
1.91. Shooter ready. Stand by. 2.09. Shooter ready. Stand by. 2.22. Last string.
That was painful.
Last string.
I about hurt myself.
Shooter ready. Stand by.
Stop playing early. That's a miss.
Yeah. 3.06 with the miss.
It's really cool. I'm starting to like the trigger, but I got enough people here that I really want to have a really good showing, and I'm screwing the pooch. Okay, promised myself 3 extra shots total. We'll see if I can do 3 shots the first
Alrighty.
run and do the rest of them clean.
If not, you just stop.
You get it. You understand.
Okay.
All right.
Shooter ready.
Sure.
Stand by.
That's 2.
4.88.
4.88.
That's 2.
Shooter ready. Stand by. 3.84.
3.84.
Shooter ready. Stand by. 3.34.
3.34.
Shooter ready. Stand by. 3.34.
3.34.
Last string.
Yep, last string.
Last string. Shooter ready. Stand by. 3.97.
3.97.
Okay.
Well, I missed 4 times. Not bad. Yeah, I tell myself every time when I shoot these polymer guns, I got to ramp up that right-hand grip strength, and I always fail to do so until later in the match, and then I get on the grip strength, and everything works like it's supposed to.
All right, go ahead and load and make ready.
Woohoo! This spells high disaster.
All right, shooter ready. Stand by. 210. You ready? Stand by. 203. All right, shooter ready. Stand by.
Ah!
301.
I don't like 301.
You ready? Stand by. That was 280 and I think a miss.
Which one? Number 3?
Number 2.
Number 2.
Alright. Shooter ready.
String.
Stand by. 298.
Ah!
Okay.
Ah!
Shooter load and make ready.
Thank you, sir. Last chance of glory. HK, P30. Oh, yeah. Federal 124 is what I'm shooting today.
Shooter ready.
You bet.
Stand by. 2.16.
Nice. There it is.
Shooter ready. Stand by.
Dang it.
2.67 with a miss.
This is a cool stage.
Shooter ready. Stand by. 2.49.
2.49.
Shooter ready. Stand by. 2.01.
6.01.
Wow.
Last string.
Last string. Shooter ready. Stand by. Ah. 6.36.
636.
If you miss one, you got to miss. So I missed a few more.
You miss one, you gotta miss.
I really enjoyed the gun. The LEM trigger, a lot of guys says don't do any research on it, so I didn't. I didn't dry fire it, I just showed up and shot it. Proper follow through, the gun is easy to pilot just fine. Recoil impulse is great, the gun feels soft, short sight radius doesn't bother me. The LEM trigger is just something, if you have good follow through, it's not an issue. I just didn't have it every shot. Yay! Hey shooters, here we are finishing up day 2, or the next day I usually try to test, and I've done it several days later. But we've finished the out-of-the-box and to-the-match gun review of another HK. This is the HK P30 Standard, or they don't call it the Compact, it's just the P30. They make I think an S version, and I've already tested the long slide, which I really liked. And this is the standard version, but it's got the LEM trigger. Now, I wish I could have a really excellent way to describe the LEM trigger. But take a look at the hammer, flipping back and forth. I'll take that. Very light. I don't know, £1.5 take up, and the hammer comes back, and then it's a 5.5 pound break. Gun cycles, the hammer's back. If you release the trigger, the hammer goes all the way down, and it's kind of reset there so you can break it. And hammer's all the way back. You pull it, watch the hammer go down a little bit. Hear a click, and that's the reset point. And you can break it. Now what it does is, it allows you to have a safe, but a very manageable double action trigger pull. In other words, safe in other words, you have a lot of time on the trigger before you're going to break a shot. Some people are concerned about having and I am too to some degree. If I'm an appendix carrier, a Glock 19 or something, I leave the trigger stock because there's in any one moment, you only have to have one moment of where you're not thinking and you discharge around inside your pants somewhere, and everybody wants to go, oh, the family jewels. No, it's about having a femoral artery get whacked, and then you're going to bleed out right there because you're trying to defend your life and limb, and on practice day you put the gun away a little too aggressively and catch a piece of clothing in the trigger guard and make it go bang. Now, two things happen with this gun. One, you have a lot of travel there. Very easy travel, so that wouldn't necessarily preclude the errant discharge in the inside the waistband. But being able to put your finger on the hammer, thumb on the hammer, you'll recognize it right away that something isn't right, because you can hold that hammer down, and it takes a lot. I'm trying to pull against each other; it's very difficult to pull. So that gives you that one little sense of recognition that when you put this gun away, you might be having a problem. So, from a safety standpoint, the LEM trigger is really kind of interesting. And I think it's a viable alternative just in the safety scenario. But as a shooter, as a competitive shooter, I kind of dig this. Now in the video, I think I mentioned you couldn't tell it was a wall. Well, I was coming from way out of left field, coming down on that trigger as quickly as I can, and rolling right out off. Right, there's a solid break right there. It just stops, solid wall, and then it breaks. Well, it's there. But in my rush to break shots as quickly as I could, I just pull straight through, as I would a double action trigger pull. And it broke beautifully. So, if you're a double action trigger aficionado, just roll this thing straight through. If you want the wall, roll to the reset and come back out and break nice clean shots for accuracy. Speaking of accuracy, check it out. This little dude shot some really, really good groups. This is the A&E, or A&E, yeah, Arts and Entertainment. This is the American Eagle 147. That's an 1.25" group, 25 yards off bags. Yeah, it backs it up with a 3-inch with PMC and a 3-inch with 124s, but it also backs up with the Federal has what they call a train and protect. hollow point 115, kind of a hot stepping little number, and it shot an 1 5/8". So again, sub 2-inch accurate, which is kind of what I've been expecting out of HK guns. They really should shoot well, and they do. Now it's got a shorter sight radius. I'm 58 years old. The trigger was fully manageable. The trigger had nothing to do with this not shooting as awesome of groups as it could. But it did shoot awesome groups. It shot under 1.5 inches easily with 2 ammos that it really liked. And again, this is over-the-counter, relatively inexpensive ammo. This is not a carefully crafted hand load. You know, this is not some other specialty manufacturer that makes ammo for a Bianchi Cub. This is American Eagle ammunition that shot like this. I'm a fan. I got some more HKs in the pipeline. I'm digging HKs. Now, I started this video series way back when with a VP9, I believe, and I really liked it. I didn't get wedded to it. Striker-fired guns are striker-fired guns, and a lot of them are very similar. And I have so many Glocks, I'm really a Glockophile. But when it comes to the hammer guns, I'm really starting to dig the hammer gun. Oh, and this still maintains double strike capability. So even after the gun cycles, if you pull the trigger with that nice little, easily manageable, even at speed, LEM trigger, and it doesn't go bang, you still have full DA capability to break that shot again and have that get a second strike on that errant primer, that bad primer. If a totally bad primer, it's not going to go bang. But if it happens to be a high primer or something, that'll let it reset. So we've got sub 2-inch accurate, abbreviated sight radius. This is the night sight version. I didn't buy this one. This one was actually a T&E gun from HK. I had bought the 30L and ran it and really liked it. And so I gave them a call and said, "Did you check out my video?" "Oh yeah, can we see it?" So I showed it to them, and I said, "Are you interested in trying something else?" "Sure, let me try one of these little P30s. And I'd like to try something different." So the LEM trigger is what showed up. I think I'm going to pick up another LEM gun. I kind of like this. You know, the SADA transition with a good grip and proper mechanics, it's not, I wouldn't even call it surmountable. It's not even an issue. People think it is. It's not. It's the internet, and we keep telling everybody that if it's not a single action trigger, it can't be shot very well. Wrong. They can be shot just fine. A lot of it has to do with training and ability and effort, but the effort is worth the reward. Now this one is kind of like a little hybrid. So what's happening here, and I haven't taken the gun off to really detail stripped it, from what's happening here is that there's a pre-cocked or a pre-energized element when you cycle the slide. So that allows that hammer to have most of its effort already stored within the gun. So when you pull the trigger back, you're just taking off the last little bit and breaking the sear and letting that energy release into the hammer. How do you describe it? I don't know. I describe it as really manageable, easy to shoot, and something I'm going to buy another one of. I'm actually looking at the HK45 for heavy metal with the LEM trigger. Nice and slick, nothing on the gun. Ergonomics are fantastic. Interchangeable back straps. And something else I'll play with here shortly. I won't include it in this video, but I did play with the long slide, the P30L. It drops right on this lower, and the trigger functions just the same way, although this dust cover is shorter, so the dust cover exposes part of the recoil spring, or the recoil spring. So you can swap it one on the other, or the other on the other, but remember the dust covers are different length. Anyways, guys, I really appreciate you watching. I hope this was helpful to you. Like, subscribe, share, check out other videos. You know that YouTube's under a lot of, or YouTube is pressuring a lot of us gun YouTubers. I'm a pretty small channel, 15,000 subscribers, couple million views. I appeal mostly to I like to think that the real gun aficionado, the guy who competes, the guy who really knows the difference between one gun and another, comes here for straight dope, straight information, and someone that kind of knows how to shoot a gun pretty well. So I know I'm patting myself on the back a little too much. That's not my style. But in fact, thank you so much for showing up and patronizing this channel. I really appreciate it. Someday maybe I'll do a Patreon page. Probably not. I like to finance this myself, and to the good graces of Federal Ammunition, companies like HK that'll hand me a gun to T&E, Defender Outdoors where I buy most of my guns, Savage for all your rifles, and Burt for all your optics. And Red Hill Tactical, every holster. And I don't think they can even keep up. I just put an order in for 3 more holsters for 3 more double stack 45s in hopes that we can get all those tested, but I doubt it's going to happen in time. I put a lot of stress on the guys at Red Hill Tactical, and man, they seem to meet the effort every time. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Sorry for doing it on for so long. Check out the HK, and don't be afraid of the LEM trigger. It's really cool. Bye for now, guys.